Doublelift's career was a roller coaster of domestic dominance and embarrassing world's exits.
I'm sorry that.
But in his prime, he was not only the king of the LCS, but he was one of the most skilled players in the world. And in this video, I show you why. Before Doublelift could dominate, he had to suffer on CLG. For many years in the LCS, the North American star was known more for his mishaps than his victories.
Doublelift always still strong. Doublelift, a flash, ardent blaze into the light shot.
I didn't realize I said Doublelift in that clip. I was just so used to seeing him go down on Tristana yesterday. Whoa, man.
Because of this, Doublelift's impressive individual performances were largely overshadowed. Not to mention, the new Danish prodigy in Bjergsen had taken the LCS by storm, leaving Doublelift and CLG behind. But in the summer of 2015, things changed. For the first time, Doublelift wasn't the sole carry of CLG. With some of the burden lifted, he was allowed to flourish.
Doesn't lay the stun, but a lot of damage still comes through. He got rocket. There it is. A few more kills for Doublelift on Ash. Is it the last shot? Doublelift! He's not going to use it. Gets one kill. He jumps in. He has Kez right there. Fourth as the Nexus goes down to the minions and CLG wins the game.
CLG ended the season in second place with a 13-6 record. And Doublelift finished summer averaging a 5.0 KDA, 588 damage per minute, and almost 80% kill participation. But it was the playoffs where Doublelift and CLG reached a whole new level of dominance. Doublelift finished the playoffs averaging a monstrous 8.3 KDA, 82% kill participation, and 788 damage per minute. He was as close to the perfect 80 carry as you could ask for.
It's a triple for Doublelift. He's looking for Bjergsen.
And off the back of Doublelift's flawless gameplay, CLG finally did it. They won their first title. In a series against Bjergsen, Doublelift proved that he was the best player in the series. Heading into Worlds that year, expectations for CLG were high, but Worlds 2015 was a huge shock to fans. After starting the group stage 2-1, CLG proceeded to lose all 3 games in their second week. This included an embarrassing loss to wildcard Brazilian team Pain Gaming. And Doublelift's individual play had taken a massive hit as well. He finished the tournament averaging a 2.7 KDA, almost 6 points down from his playoff peak. Following the disappointing early exit from Worlds, CLG made the boldest offseason move in LCS history. And just before I get into what that move was, if you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Now thank you, and back to the video. Since Season 2 of League of Legends, Doublelift was CLG.
Everyone else is trash. A stomp. That's what you can expect.
I just think everyone just sucks.
He was more synonymous with CLG than even Bjergsen with TSM or Sneaky with Cloud9. So you could imagine the shock when CLG decided to drop Doublelift right after they won their title together, after his best individual season in years. But one team snatched him up immediately.
Hey, my name is Doublelift, and starting today, I'll be a part of TSM.
TSM, CLG's arch rival, signs Doublelift. This was Doublelift's ultimate opportunity, not only to get revenge on CLG, but to also prove his individual skill playing alongside Bjergsen. Heading into the spring 2016 season, TSM was touted as a super team. Not only did they combine Bjergsen and Doublelift together, but they also added shot-calling support, Yellowstar. But the Doublelift-Yellowstar duo did not mesh at all. Doublelift wanted a lane-focused support who could utilize his extreme mechanical proficiency to fight for early game advantages. Yellowstar, on the other hand, preferred the more methodical approach. Once again, Doublelift's numbers dropped compared to his previous year on CLG. And losing to CLG in the finals only added insult to injury. But perhaps this was just the wake-up call TSM, and Doublelift in particular, needed. Because in the summer of 2016, Doublelift finally started to hit his prime. See, as good as Doublelift had been up to this point in his career, none of that compared to the summer 2016 version of Doublelift.
Doublelift! Talking to calling the dynasty, the 1v3 solo! Members from Biofront. Fighting a minion almost goes down. Doublelift brings up the pentakill!
Doublelift finished the season averaging a 6.0 KDA and a 10 CS differential. The next closest AD carry was Stixxay all the way down at 6. and he helped TSM reach a record-breaking 17-1 regular season finish. For the first time in his career, he was fighting for the most valuable player of the Split Award. However, in the playoffs, Doublelift was the star of the show.
And they shut him down with a 1600 damage crit. Doublelift is low. Medios, another knockup, trades his life, but it's Doublelift gets the GA. Killing them all. Kills everybody. They've got 3. Impact goes down. An ace for TSM.
He finished the playoffs averaging a 7 KDA, 73% kill participation, and almost 30% of his team's total damage. But his biggest flex was his ability to pilot a non-traditional AD carry like Jhin so proficiently. It was clear Doublelift had taken a tremendous step forward as a player. Coming into 2016 Worlds, TSM were a dark horse contender, partly because Doublelift's reputation had dramatically risen.
I think he's always been good mechanically, but he played a lot smarter this year, and he's also been one of the shot callers for the #1 team from North America.
He finished Worlds averaging a 10.5 CS differential at 15 minutes, but only a 2.9 KDA and 54% of his team's kill participation. But more than that, it was one mistake that he made that is etched into the minds of NA fans to this day.
3 for 0. Doublelift. Oh, and it gets deleted. Look, and it's now going to be the Nexus. It's going to be the game, and Samsung Galaxy gets revenge.
It's hard to say for sure if it really was just burnout or the heavy criticism following Worlds, but in the offseason, Doublelift decided to step down from the team. Doublelift was not part of the LCS Spring Split apart from a short stint on Team Liquid. So come summer, people expected a rusty Doublelift. Plus, TSM had just won a title without him, so how much better could Doublelift make the team anyways? The answer is, a lot better.
That arrow. Cross field. Oh, way to kick him to taint. They don't even has the red buff. Next up, he is under threat. Going to give Doublelift to make it a triple, except he's not even back into World Sig to take him down. There's a triple.
Doublelift beat out Wild Turtle in practically every category. He averaged a 4.8 KDA to Turtle's 3.9. He did 26% of his team's damage, averaging almost 600 damage per minute compared to Turtle's 430. And most of all, the team improved their win percentage from 66% to 73%. It was simple. With Doublelift on your team, you had a true carry. Someone the other team had to worry about, which wasn't the case for very many players in the LCS at that time. And that difference was even more clear in the playoffs. Doublelift had one of the best playoff performances for a player in LCS history, averaging an 8.4 KDA and dealing more than 750 damage per minute, equating to almost 34% of his team's total damage. The next best AD carry, Stixxay, averaged a 5.6 KDA with 665 damage per minute. He was a big reason why TSM took down Immortals in the finals. Heading into Worlds in 2017, Doublelift had a lot to prove. He had 2 disappointing Worlds campaigns in a row the last 2 years. So faced with a favorable group draw, the expectation for Doublelift was to dominate. But once again, that didn't happen.
To play against TSM, they were excited at the prospect of shutting up a showing from the #2.
Although his damage numbers were strong, Doublelift's other stats took a major hit. His CS differential was -9, and he was 600 gold down at 15 minutes on average. What was supposed to be one of TSM's strong points on the map became one of their craters. Then, the unthinkable happens. TSM drops Doublelift in the 2017 offseason. Even with his Worlds performance, everyone including Doublelift expected a run back after Worlds. But for TSM, the chance to pick up the best in the West bot lane in Spen and Mithy was too good to pass up. So Doublelift, in his prime, was teamless. But once again, not for long. Doublelift reunited with some of his former CLG teammates in Xmithy and Pobelter and formed a new bot lane with Ole on Team Liquid. A new fire had been lit under the Star 80 carry. This was Doublelift's team through and through, and he became the ultimate carry.
Doublelift has power people in his eyes. He is just dogpiling. Back in and does so. For no jungler, Baron Buckley. Oh, the shots. Oh, great first week from Liquid.
That was a very competitive game down to the very end.
Doublelift finished the season averaging a 6.5 KDA, 8 CS up on his opponents at 15 minutes, and almost 29% of his team's damage share. Although the team only finished in 4th place in the regular season, in the playoffs, Liquid was another animal. Now, it's important to note, Doublelift was forced to deal with a tragic family incident heading into the finals of the LCS. Many expected him to miss the finals match considering the severity of the situation. But against expectations, Doublelift decided to play through it, showing his incredible resolve and mental fortitude. And he helped deliver Team Liquid their first ever LCS trophy. Doublelift finished the LCS playoffs averaging a ridiculous 35.3 KDA across 10 games and more than 700 damage per minute. In his first split ever, Doublelift had turned the forever 4th place team in Team Liquid into the best team in North America. MSI 2018 was Doublelift's first opportunity at the mid-season tournament. And this was the tournament of 80 carries. We're talking Uzi, Prey, Reckless, and of course, Doublelift. Question was, how would he do? He would finally prove himself. Although Team Liquid didn't win many games at MSI, Doublelift showed up on the international stage. Doublelift averaged a crazy 38.6% of his team's total damage. He was by far the biggest reason Team Liquid were ever in games in the first place. Even against the best AD carry in the world in Uzi, Doublelift put on one of his greatest individual performances ever.
This binding accuracy is just perfect. Yeah, upgrades. Here we go. Storm comes out as well. Through the Stag United, he will to the win. The binding connects.
Win or lose, Doublelift had finally made a move on the international stage. Come summer, Team Liquid hoped to build on this newfound momentum. The team picked up right where they left off in spring, finishing first in the regular season. And in the playoffs, Doublelift again sported monster numbers. He finished with an 11 KDA, almost 30% of his team's damage, and 630 damage per minute. Doublelift hadn't had a split this good since the summer of 2016, and he won his first MVP to prove it. That, and yet another LCS trophy. This was the absolute individual peak of Doublelift. He had the mechanics and laning, but he could also translate his in-game leadership to wins on the Rift. Plus, he had just showed up internationally at MSI. All there was left to do was to do it at Worlds. But Worlds 2018 was not the success story he had hoped for.
Knockup connects. Death goes down. Death sentence connects up to Impact. KT rolls to take down Team Liquid for their first win at Worlds 2018.
Despite Doublelift's best efforts, the team couldn't make it out of the group stage. Doublelift played well individually, particularly in their last 2 games of the stage, but it was too little, too late. Q 2019 Spring. Team Liquid recognized the potential of their team and went all in on building around their star AD carry. They added longtime superstar mid Jensen and paired Doublelift with his strongest partner yet, world champion Core JJ. The newly formed Team Liquid did not take very long to come together. The team finished the season with a 14-4 record, with the Doublelift and Core JJ bot lane dominating the league. However, the real test would come in the finals, against his former teammate and forever rival, Bjergsen. Bjergsen and Doublelift had always been considered the 2 best players in the LCS, and this series was dubbed as a way to determine the true king of the region. And the true king, at least in that series, was Doublelift.
And he'll use, but there is going to find themselves the pullback. Is here life, but he's not going to get away. The cleanse gets rid of the slow. Here comes the play. No flash. Void Seeker. Is this the play? I do believe it. Just 3 LCS titles in a row. They are the super team.
Team Liquid would head into MSI hopeful. This was the best team North America had sent to an international tournament since 2016 TSM. Team Liquid had a rough time in the group stage, taking some wins but suffering brutal beatdowns. Doublelift was having an average tournament, especially coming off his 2018 performance, but Liquid's performance was good enough to get them out of the group stage. Their reward was facing off against reigning world champions, IG. IG not only had the unstoppable topside duo of Rookie and the Shy, but they also had Jackulub in the bot lane, and no one favored Doublelift in that matchup. But they should have.
Impact taken. Fiddler is gone. Doublelift smells their fear. Now bottom side is going to be 2v2. Ning's going to be boosted down. Going Smithy, but not quite yet. The damage isn't there. He's going to be put on the ground. Doublelift goes legendary. Expectations be damned. One of the biggest moments in League of Legends history as Team Liquid take down the reigning world.
Doublelift proved he was capable of contending with the best 80 carries on the international stage. Doublelift finished the series averaging a 5.1 KDA to Jackulub's 2.8 and was instrumental in Liquid's win against the world champions. Heading into MSI finals against G2, one could argue that Doublelift and Core JJ were favored in their bot lane matchup against the inexperienced Perks. which is why the beatdown they suffered was so disappointing.
G2 Esports 3-0 will win MSI 2019.
Losing to a role-swapped AD carry was just as damning as his win against Doublelift was validating. It proved that on the international stage, Doublelift was just too much of a roller coaster. In summer, they went on to win North America once again, with Doublelift posting great numbers. But what mattered most was Worlds. After beating IG and making it to the finals of MSI, people expected Liquid to have a decent showing at the tournament. But once again, that didn't happen. Team Liquid narrowly missed out on making it out of groups again. This was despite Doublelift actually playing a decent tournament, and you could tell this one hurt the most. Doublelift would experience many changes over the following years, from different rosters to returning to TSM, to then making a move to 100 Thieves alongside Bjergsen for one last reunion. But he would never compete on the international stage at such a high level as he did in 2018 and 2019. So the question is, how good was Prime Doublelift? Prime Doublelift was a player with excellent mechanics and laning, even by international standards. He had developed over time to be more of an in-game leader, he worked on his temperament, and he proved at times that he could compete and even beat the best in the world. Although inconsistencies and some unforced errors held him back from reaching ultimate glory, one thing is for certain: Doublelift was, and will likely forever be, the most talented North American player of all time. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want to see another one just like it, check out my video on how good was Bjergsen in his prime, and let me know in the comments which player you would like me to cover next.